All right, we are back and we are going to check out, we've had a lot of requests to check out 15 things you didn't know about India. People are saying to watch that kind of, because we don't know a whole lot about India. They're like kind of help yourself know a little bit more about the country. So we're going to check that out. But before we hit play, if we can get a like and subscribe, that'd be awesome. Thank you guys again for the subscriptions and all that. We really appreciate it. I do have a huge favor to ask though. I put up a video yesterday of me and my wife watching 2 short horror films because she's freaked out very easily by scary things, and so she agreed to do that for the channel. Now she said she would do a second one if we could get 100 likes. We're at like 36 I think right now. She doesn't think we can do it. I told her she's wrong, so if you guys could please do me a big one and head over there. I'm going to link it on this video, so after you watch this, if you can head over there and give those likes and make it to where she's got to watch another one, because it's pretty funny. So, but without further ado, let's go ahead and check out 15 things we didn't know about India.
"15 Things You Didn't Know About India." Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired.
Future billionaires.
Hello Aluxers, and welcome back to another fascinating video. Today we're looking at incredible facts you didn't know about the 7th largest country in the world, India. With a population of over 1 billion people, India is one of the most influential and powerful countries in the world. Its cultural history is particularly complex and detailed, spanning 4,500 years of predominantly Hindu philosophy and theology. Thousands of years later, modern India is profoundly different, with its own colossal film industry, a diverse population, and an astonishingly big workforce. Because alux.com is dedicated to becoming the world's best resource on the most interesting countries and destinations, we couldn't wait to bring you 15 things you didn't know about India.
All right, let's do it.
Number 1. Bollywood's highest-grossing film made 27 times more than Hollywood's highest-grossing film. For every 600 films Hollywood produces, Bollywood will make 1,000. They're the most profitable films, too, when you compare the numbers. Hollywood's highest-grossing film was 2009's Avatar, which made $2.8 billion at the box office. In stark contrast, the Bollywood film 3 Idiots brought in $76.81 billion. Now that's a profit.
$36.81 billion.
Number 2. Shampoo was invented in the 16th century, India. Derived from the Sanskrit shampoo, which means massage, the concept of shampooing was invented in India in the 16th century. Herbs and natural ingredients were used then, rather than today's combination of modern chemicals and fragrances, in particular gooseberry, saphindus, and fruit pulp. When colonial visitors came to India, they brought the practice of shampooing and hair washing back with them to Europe.
Yeah, probably because her hair all stank.
Number 3. Diamonds were first mined in India, and it was the world's greatest producer. India was the most productive diamond mining country in the world until diamonds were found in Brazil in the 18th century. There are now 3 active diamond mines in India, and the famous Koh-i-Noor diamond was found in the 13th century. The 793-carat stone went from person to person and was eventually acquired by Queen Victoria during the British Raj in India.
Interesting.
Number 4. Elephants in Kerala can treat themselves to a spa day.
Oh, wow.
Punathur Kata Elephant Yard Rejuvenation Center provides elephants with baths, massages, and soothing pamper sessions. The spa caters to 59 clients and is a way of giving back to the sacred animal. Elephants play an important role in Kerala's temple processions and are a significant feature of the region, so they deserve a massage every now and then.
Wow.
That is so nice.
Number 5. The largest religious gathering in India can be seen from space. Kumbh Mela is a Hindu pilgrimage which takes people to the banks of the Ganges every 12 years. The major event involves ritualistic bathing, devotional singing, religious discussion, and feeding the poor. The attendance figures had to be capped at 75 million, making it the largest pilgrimage on Earth.
Holy crap. Yeah, they're still showing it. Okay, it's gone.
Number 6.
Sorry, it's my daughter. She's
Ancient
19,
Indian
but
civilization
I
is
don't wanna
the
be sitting
oldest
next to her
in
when
the
she's
world.
looking at it.
We often look to ancient Greece and ancient Egypt, but Indian civilization dates back to 2400 BC, when it was split into 16 monarchies, known as the Mahajanapadas. There are even authenticated human remains that date back to 30,000 years in South Asia. The oldest Hindu texts were written between 2000 and 500 BC, as well as the first texts on science, medicine, and astronomy. We actually owe the number 0 to Indian mathematics, who created the concept.
Really?
Number 7. India is home to every major world religion and doesn't have a national language.
Some of y'all in the comments have told me
Hinduism,
about the national
Christianity,
language.
Buddhism, Islam, and Sikhism all have a place in Indian society, with the most dominant being Hinduism and Islam, covering 80% and 14% of the population, respectively. Judaism has existed in India for the last 2,215 years, and some of these smaller religions also featured, including Jain, Zoroastrian, and Baha'i. India also doesn't have a single national language because 1,652 dialects are spoken across the different regions.
That's a lot of languages.
Number 8. A polling station is set up for just one voter in Gir Forest at every election. Every election, Marant Barandas Deshandas gets his local polling station entirely to himself because he's the only resident of Gir Forest.
Wow.
He's been voting in Indian elections since 2004 and never misses one now that he has his own personal polling station. Mahant is the caretaker for the one temple in the forest in Gujarat, a home he shares with the rare Asiatic lion.
Look really bright, too. Oh, those lions.
Number 9. The Indian government has used scaffolding to hide the Taj Mahal when airstrikes are predicted.
Oh, down. That's
During the
pretty
Second
ingenious
World
right
War
there.
and the Indian-Pakistan Wars, scaffolding was put up around the distinctive domes of the Taj Mahal to make it less obvious from above.
Yeah.
They feared strikes by the Japanese Air Force during World War II, so hid their most famous landmark. More recent threats to the Taj Mahal include the rising levels of the Yamuna River, which has cracked the tomb underneath the structure. There have been predictions that the tombs could collapse at any time. Check out our video, 15 Most Expensive Man-Made Attractions in the World, to find out what ranks along the stunning Taj Mahal.
Wow.
Number 10. Indians invented navigation, yoga, the world's cheapest car, and thorium-based nuclear power.
I could have guessed yoga.
Indian society can take credit for some of the most important inventions in the world. They were the first to create the concept of navigation over 6,000 years ago, using rivers and seas. Yoga was created 5,000 years ago and has roots in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. The world's cheapest car, the Tata Nano, which costs around 100,000 rupees, the equivalent of $1,400. And India is the home of the first next-generation thorium reactor. The country is aiming to produce 30% of its electrical power with thorium by 2050. Number 11. You can stay at the former Indian royal residence for $88,000 a night. If you want to stay at the lap of luxury, forget Paris and forget Dubai. India is the home of the most stunning palaces in the world. Once the home of the Maharajas, there are opulent palaces throughout the country, with some dating back hundreds of years. The Kumarakam Lake Resort hosted Prince Charles's 65th birthday, and the 450-year-old Samod Palace in Jaipur has hosted famous faces from all over the world. Number 12. King Jaya Singh of Alwar snubbed Rolls-Royce in the best possible way.
Really?
India has a long and colorful history of quirky monarchies and extravagant kings and queens. The King of Alwar in northeast India was insulted by a Rolls-Royce salesman when he visited a showroom in London. A very proud man, he ordered a whole fleet of Rolls-Royce cars and gave them to the city's waste department so they could use them to transport rubbish throughout the city.
Wow, that was pretty good.
Number 13. 1 million Indians are millionaires. India has one of the most dramatic wealth gaps in the world, with 35% of the country living below the poverty line. Those who live way above it live a very different kind of life. The richest Indian in the world is Mukesh Ambani, who has a net worth of $53 billion. The 59-year-old made his money in the oil and gas industry, and his billion-dollar home recently made headlines because he chose to build a 27-story skyscraper instead of a sprawling mansion.
God.
Number 14. The first account of plastic surgery was found in an ancient Sanskrit text. One of the first medical texts was the Sushruta Samhita, which can be dated back to the 6th century CE. It's one of the very first examples of a medical text and discusses surgery, incisions, skin grafts, and nose reconstruction. Britain's first nose job wouldn't be performed until 1814, a worrying 80 years before the Sushruta Samhita would be translated. Number 15. One of India's most extravagant weddings caused controversy because it was too extravagant. Lasting 5 days and costing $74 million. The wedding of the daughter of a prominent businessman made headlines in 2016 for all the wrong reasons. The $2.5 million wedding sari, Bollywood royalty in attendance, and gold Bangalore palace setting was denounced as an obscene display of wealth. Millions of Indians live in poverty, so the wedding was criticized for being in poor taste.
Wow, that is crazy.
There are many stereotypical images of India, but there's so much more to this incredible country than many of us know. The center of many industries and the world's biggest democracy, India has influenced art, literature, science, and medicine potentially more than any other nation.
Stuff over their head?
Yeah.
If you could take a trip to this beautiful, fascinating country, where would you find yourself? In a gorgeous Maharaja's palace, surrounded by palm trees and rural countryside? Or a modern apartment in the thick of busy Mumbai?
I don't know. Can I try both?
You can try both. If I went to India, I would want to be in, like, the heart. Like, not the city part, but the...
Oh, you're still here? Here's another bizarre and incredible fact about India. About 40% of the Indian population is vegetarian, making it the largest veggie population in the world. Many choose to not eat meat for spiritual and religious reasons, with beef and pork products often ruled out of their diet. Vegetarianism is so influential that KFC, McDonald's, and Pizza Hut had to introduce vegetarian menus for their Indian franchises to cater to the population. The country with the fewest vegetarians is Portugal, where just 1.8% of the population have cut meat from their diet.
Portuguese love their meat.
Thank you for spending some time with us, Luxor. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video.
Wow, that was pretty cool. I'll tell you what, I would absolutely love to visit India one day. That'd be very cool. And like you were saying, kind of just to do a cross-country, like, trek would be amazing. To start at one part of the country and then kind of just make your way, you know, and just see all the various sites going, like you said.
The chalk thing?
Yeah, witness some of the celebrations and that huge migration of that religious migration. The fact you can see it from space with so many people, that blows my mind away. That's
but
crazy.
They are naked.
Some of them were naked. Yeah, that's why that was kind of awkward for me. I didn't know they were going to show that on here, but. And then she really liked the Elephant Day spot.
I would love to go there.
Seeing the elephants getting pampered and scrubbed.
Pamper an elephant. That would be so fun.
But I'll tell you what, I had no idea. That was a very cool snub of Rolls-Royce. No clue about any of that happening. The fact that he ran into a snotty salesman in London, and he's like, all right, here, let me have a bunch of those Rolls-Royces. These are our trash trucks and sweepers. Like, just, go ahead. Very cool way. That's probably, you gotta watch how you talk to people. I mean, come on, talk to people the way you wanted to be talked to.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah,
but her room is covered with elephant statues and posters and more statues and stuffed elephant animals over there. But that would be. And now the one thing I would like to know, I'm interested in, is that it said the number one thing was the Bollywood movie. Making 27 times more than the highest Hollywood movie. They said
Three Idiots.
And they said how many billions it made. Is that like how is that? Is that what it, like, if you to done the exchange into dollars? That's how much more it made to it, or they taking the currency from India versus I don't know. Maybe somebody can let me know exactly about that.
Kind of makes me want to see that movie too, since it made so much.
Yeah, that's one. It made more than Avatar. I've never heard of it, which is crazy. It made that much more. But that was 15 things we did not know. I didn't know. The only thing I'll say this: the yoga thing. I have tried yoga before. It was part of a workout thing I did years ago, and you kind of look at it at first and you're like, I can do that. That was, I sweat the most doing yoga. That, you wouldn't think it was hard, but oh my gosh, just the way you got to hold your body and all that, and then just sweat's just pouring, and you're like, keep holding. I'm like, oh please, I want to put my body down. It's all the angles I'm at, and you're straining, but it does feel good when you're done. You're like, oh, you feel all good and relaxed, and all your muscles are nice and stretched and everything. But
so much respect to Indians that can do yoga.
That is pretty impressive. But once again, would love to visit India.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.